Ah, what a brilliant view. Hey guys, Stormboy13, it's probably a little bit low, but yeah, I'm not holding a camera. It's on a tripod. I might just move back a little bit. Perfect. Hope you're doing well, guys, and firstly, everybody wants to know, is that an early Christmas present? I'm going to tell you the truth, and I will show it to you at the end of this video. It's on a tripod. It is actually not my tripod, it's the college's tripod. I was allowed to borrow it over the holidays to do a 1-minute film project. So I booked the equipment, so they've lent it to me, so I've got to return them after the holidays, so which is beginning of the new year. So it's only for a temporary amount of time. Having said that, I may possibly get one for my birthday, which is in March, and actually it's worked brilliantly. I haven't used, well, I'll tell you the truth, I used to have a tripod in the early stage, or the early years when I had my YouTube channel. I think it was about 2015, I think a year or two on, my tripod broke, and then I've just mostly did handheld. I think I had one new one, but it didn't have the right parts for my camera, so I was a write-off, or whatever you want to say. But this is a brilliant tripod. Once I show it to you, you'll know what I mean. But in the meantime, I can talk without having to, you know, hold the camera straight, because it always aches my arm. But anyways, on a serious topic, this year's about this year. This video's been about this year. Honestly, I'm gonna get straight to the point. This year, without question, it has been the worst year in my life by a clear 5 miles. Honestly, let's get the story straight. So, 2020 is the year we'd rather forget, especially for me. We started off relatively normal, but even then, straight after New Year, I did hear some news in China that there was this virus going on, but you kind of get some of these viruses, you know, every year. Mostly like flu-like symptoms, and it's never usually that serious. They just pass on through quickly. But generally, you start the year relatively normal, you know, and actually my emotions were pretty good to begin the new year. You know, feeling optimistic, and you know, you just never see it coming. By after February half term, because usually it's the annual thing, we go on a family skiing holiday to France, somewhere near Italy, in the borders. We spend a week away, enjoying our skiing fun. There was thankfully, well, not where we was, there was an outbreak in Italy. Ironically, well, not ironically, but you know what I mean, in another ski resort, the cases exploded, and we got to know more about the coronavirus. And then, especially since after February half term, the cases mainly imported from Italy, mostly then because it's much closer compared to China, just spiraled through into the UK. And in the space of just a few weeks, we've had one of the best skiing holidays during half term, to a complete and depressing lockdown by the end of March. It was my birthday just before then. My birthday's on the 13th of March. 10 days after that, well, at least there's a little bit of consolation. At least the lockdown didn't occur on my birthday. Unfortunately, not so lucky for many others. But yeah, we went straight into lockdown. Well, almost went straight into lockdown almost after my birthday. It came so quickly. Back then, the coronavirus was very, very unpredictable. You didn't know what was going to happen. You know, people were panicking, understandably so. You know, I was a bit unstable on several days. Especially, you know, because you kind of learn quickly that you may be okay. You know, I'm in my early 20s. You know, you're unlikely to die. Not the case for everyone. The elderly and the most vulnerable ones are much higher risk, and obviously, ever since we went to lockdown, especially pretty much throughout the rest of spring, it's just been nothing but depressing times. I did some past videos about it earlier in the year about it, and you know, I'll briefly recap what I've just said. It's been, well, month on, couldn't leave my area. 2 months on, couldn't leave my area. Well, I think after the 13th of May you could leave if you wanted to, for example, a walk in the park for a picnic. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to keep safe and not put anyone else's lives at risk. It was beginning of June. I left, I won't say too much detail in terms of where I live, but I left my area, managed to go into near Loughborough beginning of June. Just had a couple of walks there, nothing massive, but at least it was a step up, you know. And then this was a massive day, 16th of June, nearly 3 months since I last left Loughborough. Couldn't go back since because of lockdown. Came back to Loughborough and just to, just see what's changed and just had to explore around. The same day, a torrential thunderstorm hit place, and what a great day that was. Well, in terms of what's been a horrific year, this was probably one of the best days out of the year. Got something good out of it. 11,000 views currently on my video that I recorded that day, and it got shown on Britain's Wildest Weather 2020. So at least there was a little bit of optimism there from a horrific year. But even throughout the summer, when the cases were eventually at its lowest, it still didn't go out very much. It just takes few people to get those cases completely out of control again, even in the summertime, but people more likely to be outdoors, cases were lower. Well, because we had a complete lockdown, we managed to get rid of most of the cases. Sadly, and I apologise for my language, some people fucked it up because they didn't took it seriously, and I believed around in August, around the summer holiday break, teenagers travelling from Europe or whatever back to the UK brought the virus back, and then it was back to square one again. They were a bit more slower though, more gradual when we had an uplift in cases. Maybe because of the warmer weather. It was a warm September as well, maybe people were still out, but it was quite clear by the time we got to October it was just getting out of control again. We had a lockdown in November, with the only exceptions, schools and colleges remained open, with a few more additional shops, but it didn't really feel like a lockdown, to be honest. It looked open to me, even when I was in Loughborough, and it wasn't Loughborough town, in city centres it might be more closed in a way, because it's more businessy stuff and people can work from home. In towns, I don't know really, I don't want to give any wrong answers. And then got to December, we're back to the tier systems, which I forgot to mention, we had them in October, and yeah, we got to this stage. It's middle of December, just weeks away from ending this horrific year. So yeah, basically my emotions have been, I'm going to be honest with you, very, very low all year round. Well, especially after February half term. It's been horrific, and because of my low mood, and I'm not going to lie to you, because honesty is the main important thing here. I wasn't in quite a few days, or weeks I should say, or whatever. I was just in no spirits to get any videos up, just as I had to do on a weather forecast. But there were lots of weeks I've only had mostly just one video up throughout the week, and it's the weather forecasting one. I just felt depressed, I just cannot wait for normality to return back. Everyone wants it, it's affected mental health in terms of my mental health well-being, and and I think quite a lot of you agree with me, honestly, I cannot stress how much I want this to end now. I want normality to return for next year, but I'm very proud of the NHS. They did an outstanding job. We got the vaccines out, and hopefully that will save lives. We've had to put up with this for 9 months at least. So yeah, I'm a bit lost for words, honestly, of how awful this year's been. But now focusing temporarily on what's going to happen with my channel for next year. I've done the outlooks for the last 2 years almost. That is going to be put on hold for next year. I've made that decision. The views aren't as high, but I think with the outlooks, I'm not the best person in the world of coming up with the predicting weather for the long-term outlook. For example, Gav's weather videos or whatever, I think he does a better job, probably because of more advanced technology. I don't have that. So it might be that I may put a temporary hold on it for next year, but it could come back in 2022 or 2023, whatever. If I'm still running on my channel, that's what I would say. So there's no outlooks, but what is going to happen for next year on my channel is I will be doing more weather-related content in a way, because I have a bit of an absence for this year. When we get like extreme weather conditions for any part of the world, I will be doing a topic based on it. I will also be planning to do, actually not just UK weather forecasts, but much more of Europe and North America weather forecasts. So I kind of would like to do that. So that's what I'm going to be doing for next year ahead. And I will do a few, it's nothing massively special, because I've also got to put my head down and do my media studies, but I will have loads of time, hopefully next year, fight my depression when I can, and just, hopefully, fingers crossed, it can't get any worse than this year, let's face it. So next year, plan is, get some weather breaking news, because there's climate change is also on the rise as well. So that's going to be basically on the topic I'm going to cover about for 2021. And so I'm going to be doing that, discuss weather stories, going to be doing more international weather forecasts. So, and also, like I said, well, the travelling wise probably wouldn't be an ideal thing, but once the restrictions have significantly eased, let's say around after Easter or hopefully near into summer, I will hopefully be able to take requests, and then we'll go with that. And of course, extreme weather, yeah, when I get the opportunity, that's still going to be around. And you never know, it could even be 11,000 views, because that was an amazing day in Loughborough. And hopefully, you never know, next year another one of my weather videos could be shown on Britain's Wildest Weather for next year. So that's what's going to be happening. And I could also be doing possibly some vlogs around. Hopefully, I would love to be able to go to Nottingham again. I actually haven't been there all of this year, shockingly, because even though I do live in the area, ever since I moved into another college, I haven't been to Nottingham since. So, but basically, it's going to be centred around, hopefully I'll be able to go to Nottingham again, do some vlogs, maybe occasionally weather-related ones if I get the opportunity, and we'll go from there. So that's my plan for next year ahead, and I could maybe do any requests, you know, if you wanted me to do something which is close to weather-related, I could have a go, because I'm open to, you know, it is open, and, you know, I'm here for you guys if you need me to. That's what the plan is for next year, and all of the captions are in the description, so you know what I'm saying. That is it for this video, and it's just so nice to do a video without having to hold the camera. It's made it much more easier. Alright guys, like, comment, subscribe. Thanks very much for watching, and more videos to come very, very soon. And yeah, other than that, like, comment, subscribe. Storm is now out. And also, yes, this was the tripod I put my camera on. Pretty good, isn't it? Like I said, it's only for a few weeks.